oftentimes one of the things that people want to know is when I left my job to get to where I am today, or to start on this path, one of the things they ask me is how did you know what to do? How did you put your plan together? Did you figure it out by yourself? Or what did you do? Well, part of that answer came from a brief encounter that I had, because I made sure that I was able to say goodbye to a couple people that I really, really respected in the company. That was a guy named Charlie Denson and another guy named Gary DiStefano. And when I met them in the last days that I was in the company, I shook Charlie's hand, and he actually pulled me close to him, and he said, whispered in my ear, he said, "So why did you decide to leave?" And I said, "Charlie, I can guarantee you this, and I really, really want you to understand this, that I'm not leaving because I don't like the company. That's not why I'm leaving. That's the truth. The reason that I'm leaving is because it's been a while now, and I've had this feeling inside me that tells me that my life should be taking a different path. And it might sound funny to you, it might sound strange, but that's just what I feel. That's the truth. And so I thought I got to do something about it. I have to at least try it, But the real reason, one of the reasons why I'm leaving is because of something that you taught me." And so he was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Because for the umpteenth time, I was working on the strategic plan, for Italy. That's where I was the sales director in Italy. And as I was working on that strategic plan for the umpteenth time, and you taught me how to think 5 years out, think about, what I wanted the market to look like 5 years from now, what kind of actions I was going to have to put into place to make sure that the market looked as much like I wanted it to look as possible, what the customers were going to need, what the customers were going to be like, which kind of customers I wanted, what kind of organization I was going to need, what kind of resources I was going to need, financial, human resources, what the structure of my organization was going to look like, and all that stuff." And I got to thinking, with this feeling that I had inside of me, I was wondering, now, if I did this same kind of reasoning for my life, I wonder what could happen. I wonder what could come out of that. And so that's what I did. And so after I completed that exercise of the strategic plan, I took all the stuff from the company out of the template, and I've started putting my stuff in it. And now I know what I want to do 5 years from now, where I think my life should go, what kind of resources I'm going to need, who can help me, the things I'm going to need to make happen to get there, and so on and so forth. And so, Charlie, I have to try it. I have to. I can't get to the end of my life and look back and say there was something I wanted to do and I didn't even try. I just can't. And so I hope that if it doesn't work out for some reason, that I hope I'll be welcome to come back. Please. So he just smiled, and he said, he said, "Absolutely, the door's open." He said, "You know what? No one has ever told me this before." And he said, "So good luck. Keep in touch. Let us know how things are going." And and that was like more than 15 years ago. So to answer the question, how did I figure out, what to do? Part of it was because of my training in the company, because, strategic planning. And when I told my wife this, I said, "You know what? I put together a strategic plan for my life." She said, "How can you do that?" She said, "Strategic plans are for companies." And I was like, "Yeah, but there's parts of this plan, of the strategic planning process, that you could actually use for your life, And since then, I just modified it and tweaked it, based on my experience and based on the things that I needed to do. And so I just broke it down into those 5 steps of, first of all, knowing yourself, understanding where your starting point is, your, broadening your horizons, opening your mind up so you can find new possibilities and new ways to do things, clarifying your vision, creating your plan, and then make sure you stay motivated. But the basis of that plan, to answer that question, came from the strategic planning process that I learned in the company that I was working for. So that was really helpful, and it was one of those things that I'll always be eternally grateful for, that I actually learned that. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. And if you're sitting on the fence and you're not sure what your next move is going to be, you think you might have something inside of you like I had some years ago, and you're thinking, should I not? I got a lot of stuff because I've been telling a lot about my story, and I would like to share that with you if you need it. So one of the things you could do is you could go to click on the link here below this video, or here in the podcast, and go download that ebook. And you can do that and tell you my story. I'll talk you through the 5 steps. And there's also an opportunity to actually work with me in a brief 14-day period, really intense, if you want to do that, maybe to help you to get you on your way. Okay? So at any rate, stay with me, stay tuned to me, because I got a lot more things to say.